Okay guys, it is now time for another series of VHS collections, the 2016 editions. This time we're going to do the New Line Cinema VHS Collection 2016 edition, in which I don't have a whole hell of a lot, but as you can see I have a few good ones. So, don't have very many VHS collections for 2016 left before we get into the DVDs, so I got one clamshell and then the rest are in slipcovers, so... First one is the 2001 VHS of The Little Vampire with Jonathan Lipnicki. This is a 2000 film, a movie the whole family can sink their teeth into. A delightful adventure, says Lawrence Van Gelder of the New York Times. Clever, mischievous, and just plain fun, says Lawrence Van Gelder of New York Times, again. Lipnicki shines, says Lou Lemonick of New York Post. This also stars Richard E. Grant, Jim Carter, Alice Courage, Pamela Gidley, Tommy Hinckley, Anna Popplewell, Dean Cook, introducing Rollo Weeks and John Wood. Rated PG for mild peril, and it's 94 minutes. Here's the tip at the ink label, and it was printed on January 23rd, 2001. And I've seen this movie before, and it's pretty funny. Good movie to watch in October. Alright, that's the only clamshell I have. Now on to the slipcovers. First one is the 1997 VHS of Austin Powers International Man of Mystery with Mike Myers. Very, very funny. If he were any cooler, he'd still be frozen, baby. Or frozen, baby. Is the way Austin Powers says it. 2 thumbs up, says Siskel and Ebert. Hilarious, says Jeffrey Lyons of WNBC TV. Hip and funny, says Janet Maslin of the New York Times. This also stars Elizabeth Hurley, Michael York, and Mimi Rogers. Rated PG-13, and it's 90 minutes. Here's the ink label. And it was printed on April 14th, 1998. Yep. Next is the 1999 VHS of Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, which is the sequel with Mike Myers and Heather Graham. Blazingly funny, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. Even funnier than the first one, says Gene Shalit of The Today Show. Big laughs, says Roger Ebert of Chicago Sun-Times. Also stars Michael York, Robert Wagner, Seth Green, and Elizabeth Hurley. Rated PG-13, and it's 95 minutes. Ink label. Printed on August 20th, 1999. And here's the final film in the Austin Powers series, the 2002 VHS of Austin Powers and Goldmember, which is the third and final Austin Powers movie, as I just mentioned. Mike Myers, Beyonce Knowles, and Michael Caine. Includes 2 music videos, Beyonce's Work It Out and Britney Spears' Boys. Extremely funny, says Stephen Hunter of The Washington Post. Mike Myers is a comic genius, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. Also stars Seth Green, Michael York, Robert Wagner, Mindy Sterling, Vern Troyer, and Michael Caine. I already mentioned that Michael Caine was in this movie. Rated PG-13 for sexual innuendo, crude humor, and language, and it's 95 minutes. Ink label. Printed on October 17th, 2002. Yep. That's all I got to say. And the Austin Powers movies are really funny, in my opinion. Next up is the 2000 VHS of The Bachelor with Chris O'Donnell and Renee Zellweger. 1,000 brides, $1 million. Jimmy is about to discover the true value of love. The quintessential date movie, says Star Tribune. There's the original owner's name on it. Highly inventive, wildly funny, says Jack Garner of Rochester Democrat and Chronicle. And Also stars Hal Holbrook, James Cromwell, Artie Lange, Edward Asner, Marley Shelton, and Peter Ustinov. Rated PG-13 and... where's the running time? 102 minutes. Here's the ink label. Printed on August 3rd, 2000. Next up is the 1999 VHS of Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone. Also stars Sissy Spacek and Christopher Walken. After 30 years in a bomb shelter, Adam Weber is finally going outside to play. An engaging romantic comedy that's charming, funny, and hip. I don't know who said that. It didn't say. Funny and entertaining, says Roger Ebert of Chicago Sun-Times. Spacek and Walken are pure comic energy, says San Francisco Examiner. And rated PG-13, and it's 112 minutes. Here's the ink label. Printed on... there's 2 print dates. One of them is January 29, 2002, and the other one's March 27, 2002. So, I'm guessing that's when they first started it, and that's when they finished it. So, now I've heard good things about this movie, so I'll have to give it a watch sometime. Next up is, the 1992 VHS of City Slickers with Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, and Bruno Kirby. 1991 Academy Award Best Supporting Actor Jack Palance is in this movie too. And as you can see, the case is not really in the greatest condition. And a 10 says Gary Franklin of KBC TV. The rowdiest Western joke fest since Blazing Saddles, says Peter Travis of Rolling Stone. Also stars Patricia Wedig, Helen Slater, and Jack Palance, as I mentioned. Rated PG-13, and it's 114 minutes. Ink label. Printed on October 24th, 1992. Yep. And I know there's also a sequel, City Slickers 2, Legend of Curly's Gold from 1994, but I don't have that yet, but see if I can find that sometime. Next is the 1999 VHS of Drop Dead Gorgeous with Kirstie Alley, Ellen Barkin, Kirsten Dunst, and Denise Richards. There can only be one beauty queen, so give it your best shot. Lots of fun, says Kevin Thomas of Los Angeles Times. Drop Dead Funny, says Carrie Berglund of KCAL Los Angeles. Hilarious, you'll roar with laughter, says New Woman. Hysterical comedy, says Jeff Craig, a 60-second preview. Rated PG-13, and where the hell's the running time on here? No, I'll look at it in a minute. Clever, fearless, and loaded with wicked lines and touches, says Los Angeles Times. 98 minutes, okay. Ink label, printed on March 3rd, 2000. Yeah, I'll have to give this movie a watch since it looks pretty good. Next up is the 2001 VHS of Little Nicky with Adam Sandler. This is a 2000 film. Being evil ain't easy. Yeah, sure ain't. Outrageous, says Joel Siegel, Good Morning America. And this is my favorite Adam Sandler movie by far. Adam Sandler's best movie so far, says Roger Ebert of Ebert and Roper in the Movies. Funny, says Michael Wilmington of Chicago Tribune. Little Nicky rocks, says Lou Lemonick of New York Post. This also stars Patricia Arquette, Harvey Keitel, Rhys Ifans, Tommy Tiny Lister Jr., and Rodney Dangerfield as Lucifer. Rated PG-13 for crude sexual humor, some drug content, language, and thematic material. And it's 84 minutes. And there's the sticker label. And it was printed on May 7th, 2002. So this is a later printing. And I know there's some copies of this tape that have previews on it, but this tape has no previews on it at all. I have the opening uploaded on my channel if you guys want to check it out, but Little Nicky, this is by far my favorite Adam Sandler movie. You haven't seen this movie? You need to see it. It's just hilarious. I know a lot of people's favorite Adam Sandler movie is Billy Madison. That's number 2 on my list. And next is the 1995 VHS of The Mask with Jim Carrey, From Zero to Hero. Fantastic fun. And I also have this movie on DVD. I'll show that when I do my New Line Cinema DVD collection. Marvelously inventive, comic entertainment, wonderfully wacky, says David Sheehan of CBS TV Los Angeles. Also stars Peter Riegert, Peter Green, Amy Yazbek, Richard Jenai, and introducing Cameron Diaz. This was her first film. Rated PG-13, and it's 101 minutes. Ink label. Printed on January 12th, 2001. So this is a later printing. And it also has different previews from the 95 VHS. There we go. And The Mask. This is a pretty funny Jim Carrey movie. And next is the 1993 VHS of Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan. He's big, he's bad, and he's babysitting. He doesn't stand a chance. This is a 1993 comedy. 3 stars. Entertainment Family Style, says Niagara Gazette. And this is a childhood favorite. I remember watching this a lot when I was a kid. It's Home Alone meets James Bond, says the Daily Express. Also stars Sherman Hemsley, Austin Pendleton, Robert Gorman, Madeline Zima, and Raymond O'Connor, Mother Love, and David Johansen. Rated PG, and it's 88 minutes. There's the sticker label. It's got a red lid. And as you can see, this tape is recorded in some kind of a different mode. And I don't know if you could see the print date on there, but it's January 7th, 1997. Yeah, and I know this movie got mainly negative reviews at the box office, but I thought this was a pretty funny film. Not my favorites, but still worth a look. Next is the 1999 VHS of Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. The fastest hands in the East meet the biggest mouth in the West. The year's funniest action comedy. Chan and Tucker are terrific together, says Jeffrey Lyons of WNBC TV. 2 thumbs up, says Siskel and Ebert. Also stars Tom Wilkinson, Chris Penn, and Elizabeth Pena. Rated PG-13 and 97 minutes. There's the ink label. Printed on January 8th, 1999. And Rush Hour, I heard these movies should be pretty funny, and I have to pick up the second and third film sometime. Alright, and the last tape I have is another Adam Sandler comedy. It's the 1998 VHS of The Wedding Singer. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. He's gonna party like it's 1985. Which, 1985 was one of the best years for movies, in my opinion. A sparkling romantic comedy, says Kevin Thomas of the Los Angeles Times. Also stars Christine Taylor. Rated PG-13, and it's 97 minutes. It says 93 minutes on the case, but they must have made a goof error on that. There's the ink label. And I can't see the print date because I tried to peel off the Blockbuster or the Hollywood Video and label to reveal the print date, but couldn't peel the whole thing off. But The Wedding Singer I've seen bits and pieces of, and it does look pretty funny. That's going to do it for my New Line Cinema VHS Collection 2016 edition. And I'll see you guys in the next series of VHS collections, which will be my Dreamworks VHS Collection 2016 edition. In the meantime, stay tuned for more videos coming up in the near future.